A 64-year-old grandma of 11 was beating Bryan Johnson at his own game, slowing down the speed of aging, while also spending less than $100 per month, and by following a simple flexible diet. Amy Hardison, a mother of 4 and grandmother to 11 kids, was ranked number 4 on the Rejuvenation Olympics leaderboard earlier in 2024, proving that you can stay youthful and healthy without breaking the bank, nor extreme measures. In this video I'll go through Amy's straightforward health routine, covering her diet, exercise and supplementation. The story begins in 2023 when Amy's son-in-law told her to enroll in a case study done by the company Novos Labs. They measured Amy's speed of aging with the Dunedin pace test and she got a result of 0.86. Then 6 months later, she measured her Dunedin pace again and got a score of 0.74, which means that theoretically Amy would be aging only 74% of the year. A score closer to 1 means you have a faster speed of aging, and if it's over 1, then that's even faster. But a score of closer to 0.6 means you have a slower speed of aging. The goal is to have as low score as possible. I'll say immediately that this test isn't the most accurate test in the world. There are a lot of problems with these kinds of tests, such as they depend a lot on when you took the test, whether or not you were sick recently, how long you slept, etc. So these tests are very sensitive. And sometimes they're just also random. That's why we can't make any definite conclusions about Amy's health or Bryan's health based on this test alone. Regardless, Amy's score of 0.74 at a chronological age of 64 is still very impressive, especially given the fact that Bryan Johnson had a higher score while being 20 years younger. Since then, Bryan Johnson has improved his speed of aging to 0.64, which puts him at the 5th spot on the leaderboard at the moment. And Amy is ranked number 434, probably because she hasn't done any test again and a lot more other people have entered the leaderboard. So what's Amy's routine like that enabled her to get such a great score at her age? It's very short and simple. I can sum it up with this. Amy says she eats generally healthy homemade meals. Her diet is high in fruits, veggies and lean meats. She does minimize ultra-processed food and alcohol. For breakfast, she has a glass of chocolate milk and homemade bread. For lunch, she has a salad with chicken, nuts, berries and leafy greens. She does have some desserts, but only in small amounts. Exercise, she does 1 hour of aerobic cardio per day, and she's done it for the last 50 years. Usually, she either swims or runs on the elliptical machine. I don't know if Amy does any resistance exercise like weightlifting or calisthenics or something like that, but at her age, it's quite important to do some form of resistance training to prevent the deterioration of muscle mass. Having low muscle mass and low bone density at her age is quite detrimental. So just doing aerobic cardio at her age isn't going to be enough to prevent the muscle loss and prevent frailty. She needs to do some form of resistance training. Supplements, she doesn't take a lot of supplements except calcium and magnesium. During the case study with Novos, she was taking the Novos Core supplement, which is a powder drink that contains 11 ingredients, such as calcium AKG, magnesium malate, glucosamine, fisetin, theanine, lithium and glycine. It does look like this was the only thing she changed between the 6 months that she took the tests. And there are other people on the leaderboard like Julie Gibson-Clark, who was also taking Novos Core at the same time. And she was ranked number 3. But because this isn't a randomized controlled trial, we don't know if the effects are because of Novos Core or something completely different. The next important part of Amy's routine is her relationship with her family and kids. Amy says she likes to spend a lot of quality time with them and considers that time to be precious. Indeed, there's a strong correlation between strong social relationships and longevity. People who have more children and also more grandchildren tend to live longer and they have less heart disease and other chronic diseases. Having a positive outlook on life and aging also affects your health outcomes. Negative attitudes about aging have been seen to shorten life expectancy by 7.4 years, according to research from Yale University. The last component of Amy's daily routine is engagement in mental and cognitive activities. Amy reads, studies and does puzzles every day. She also wrote a book about his husband, who's some kind of a self-help and spirituality teacher called The Ultimate Coach. So Amy's mind looks to be quite sharp. This is quite an underrated and important part to preventing neurodegeneration. It's called the cognitive reserve. Basically the amount of brain power and mental sharpness you have that's accumulated throughout your lifetime. With age, your cognition will inevitably decline slightly, but if you have a higher cognitive reserve through lifelong education and learning, then you have lower odds of neurodegeneration later in life, and you suffer less from the symptoms of neurodegeneration. Alzheimer's and dementia aren't the biggest causes of death for most people because the average age of a diagnosis for dementia is late 70s and early 80s. Most average people tend to get a heart attack in their 60s, which is why they don't get to their 80s or 70s to experience neurodegeneration in the first place. But if you bypass heart disease by living over 70 years old, then the next chronic disease you need to worry about is neurodegeneration. The last question is, how long will Amy live? She looks to be in great health for her age. Will she live to the age of 100 or even 120? According to Amy, she thinks she has another 20 to 25 years left to live, and she wants to make those the best possible. She would be happy and satisfied with living to 84 or 86 years old. Now, we don't know the genetic history and the genetic risk factors of Amy, so we don't know if she has any genetic risks for heart disease or Alzheimer's. But based on her current lifestyle and current health, I think she is very likely to live into her 90s. Also, if she's going to be up to date with all these kind of future regenerative technologies and therapies, then, maybe she will even make it past 120, who knows. I was also ranked number 1 on the Rejuvenation Olympics a few months ago, and I'm currently at rank number 3. If you want to check out my own routines, then check out this video next. Other than that, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to click a like and subscribe for future videos about living longer and staying healthier. My name is Siim. Stay optimized, stay empowered.